So we're still in lesson 3 in our third lesson, which is the computer system. And today we're going to continue the discussion about it. But first, review muna tayo ng last lesson natin, okay? So our last lesson was about setting up your computer. Yung parts of, let's have the most common parts inside the system unit. Okay, pwede kayo mag-recite. So yung first one is motherboard. So yung pictures na may mga and CPU and fan. So yun ang mga most common parts na makikita sa loob ng system unit. So this is the CPU or the microprocessor. And then on top of the microprocessor ang ating CPU fan. Nakakabit din dito yung tinatawag na ating RAM or the random access memory. Likewise with the hard disk drive. And of course, para ma-convert yung power or the electricity from AC to DC, kinakailangan natin power supply unit. And also the video card, this is optional. And the DVD writer. So ito yung mga most common parts inside the system unit. Okay, moving on. Usual items in front of the system unit or the parts of the system unit in front, ano? Sa harapan. So what do you call this one? Sige. Anyone who would like to recite? Just unmute and then tell me what is this?
Opo.
Okay, what is this part?
Optical drive po.
All right, that's optical drive. Very good. And then these two small circles over here.
Audio 10.
Actually, it's not 10, no? It's letter I yun eh. So audio in and out. Okay? Yun ang ibig sabihin ng I tapos ang O. So that's not 1 and 0, okay? Audio in and out. Okay? Then how about this one beside the audio in and out?
SD card reader.
Yeah, so this is where you insert your SD card or your memory card para ma-transfer ang mga files ng SD card or para makapag-transfer ka naman ng files papunta sa SD card. So vice versa, no? And then this one, yung dalawang ports na to, dalawang rectangle ports.
USB ports.
Yes, USB port. What do you mean by USB? Universal? Universal what? SB. Ano pa yung SB?
Universal Serial Bus.
There you go. There you go. Okay, very good. Okay. Universal Serial Bus Port. So USB port. And then this one. Okay, so
Power switch.
okay, power switch. So madalas madalas, not all the time. But most of the time, yung mga system unit comes with 2 switches. And the other one is bigger than the other one. So pag mas malaki, it means that's a power switch, and the smaller one is the reset switch. Okay, the reset switch. All right, so that's it for the front. And ito natin main discussion. Our main discussion is about the keyboard. Okay, so I had given you assignment last time. So where's your assignment? Nakapagawa ba ng assignment? Do you have it with you?
Napasa ko na po.
No, what I mean is, do you have it with you right now? Yung assignment? No? Anyway, kaya ako yung pina-assignment din para meron kayong mapagbasihan, ano? You're going to look at it while we're having our discussion. All right, so we already learned before that the keyboard, so that's a keyboard, is an input device that looks like a typewriter. So who among you already had seen an actual typewriter? Nakakita na ba kayo typewriter? Oh, si Chacha nakakita na. Saan?
Office ni Mami.
Sa office ni Mami, right? So, may mga office pa rin ngayon that until now uses a typewriter. Kahit sa munisipyo natin dito, may mga nagta-typewriter pa rin eh. Kasi there are forms that typewriter must be used. Ano? So, yun. So, typewriter. Even sa ating parish, meron pa rin gumagamit pa ng typewriter. Alright, so this is a typewriter. So, ito yung kanyang keypad ng typewriter. So, these are the buttons. As you can see, meron mga numbers sa taas. So, there are numbers here. At nalaglag ang phone ni Chacha. Nalaglag. Okay? And there are the letters here. May mga QWERTY, UIOP, then the ASDF, GH, KL, ZXC, VB, and M. And then sa bottom part na ay makikita ang space bar. Okay. So pakitandaan paki-familiarize yung itsura ng typewriter, ha? And then after this, mawawala yung typewriter na yan, yung image, and then you will see the computer keyboard. Okay. So I can say that the keyboard is the most commonly used input device. Okay? Tama, no? Most common na siya eh. Kasi lahat naman ng computer may keyboard eh. Di ba? So it is the most common. And it is an input device that looks like a typewriter. Okay? So ginagamit ang keyboard for entering information into a computer. So the arrangement of keys or buttons ng keyboard is look alike sa typewriter. So here, so this is the main part of the keyboard. So you can see here the numbers 1 to 9 and then 0. And then over here are the letters with yung QWERTY, and then UIOP, the ASDF, GH, JKLM, and then the ZXC, VB, NM. And this is the space bar. So yung arrangement niya looks exactly like with the typewriter. Right? So however, a computer keyboard has distinct keys which cannot be found in an ordinary typewriter. Oops, and then I'll going to hide myself first para makita yung ibang parts. Mag-hide mo na, Sir Yman, okay? Kasi natatakpan ko pala yung typing keyboard. All right, there you go. So hindi na ako kita, di ba? Right? Can you still see me? No. Okay. So, but you can hear me, right? So let's proceed with the parts of the keyboard. Okay? So over here on top of your keyboard, you can see F1, F2, F3, F4 until F12. Right? So yung yung gumagamit ng gadgets like Chacha, Agu, Maxine, I suggest pahiga ang inyong gadget. Do it in landscape para mas malaki yung screen. That you can see me and you can see my screen sa my camera bigger. Okay? Again, so this F1, F2, F3, F4 until F12, they are called the function keys. Everyone, function keys. Okay? Nakamute nga pala kayo.
Function keys.
Right, they're called function keys. Thank you. Then next one, over here, itong part na to, you can see insert, home, page up, delete, end, page down, then the arrow keys. Oh, by the way, who's using a computer right now? It's Steph, okay? So you can see your keyboard, right? Look at your keyboard. So this part is called the navigation keys. Everyone, please, navigation keys.
Navigation keys.
All right, navigation keys. So ito yung part na yon, okay? And then at the right side of it, of the navigation keys, and at the rightmost of the keyboard, so over here, you can see numbers 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 with mathematical symbols. So it's called the numeric keypad. Okay, again, numeric keypad. And then sa ilalim naman, all right, thank you. And then sa ilalim ng navigation keys, you can see arrows, right? You can see arrows pointing up, pointing down, left and right. It's, sorry. Nilampasan ko na pala yan. So it's arrow keys. Tapos ito naman, yung main part of our keyboard. The main part of our keyboard is called the alphanumeric keys or the typewriter area. Okay? So here it's called the alphanumeric keys. This is the main part. All right, go ahead. This is the main part of our keyboard. Okay? It's called the alphanumeric keys. Everyone, please, alphanumeric keys.
Alphanumeric keys.
Right, thank you. So let's take a closer look sa bawat parts, ano? Starting with the typewriter keypad. So ito kasi ang tawag din dito sa typewriter keypad. Right? Aside from alphanumeric keys, it's also called again the typewriter keypad. Okay, so alphanumeric keys. So alpha and then numeric. So it means it consists of both letters of the alphabet and numbers. Yeah, alphanumeric keys. And aside from the alphabet and the numbers, it also consists of punctuation marks. May mga punctuation marks din siya. And special keys. So look closer. Makikita nyo dito yung mga numbers sa bandang itaas. You can see the numbers 1 to 9 until 0. And then the punctuation marks on top of them. May exclamation point. Merong at. The pound sign, dollar sign, percentage sign. Yan yung mga yan. And then the letters sa middle part. Okay? These are the letters and then the space bar ilalim. Okay, so this is the alphanumeric keys. Next to it is what we call the number keys. So number keys are found just above the letter keys of the typewriter keypad or the alphanumeric keys. So ito sila. So it ranges from 0 to 9. Pero yung kanyang arrangement is from 1 to 9 and then 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0. Okay? So yun ang number keys. Do you follow? Nakaka-follow ba lahat? Okay, so next ay going on top naman, ano? Punta tayo sa bandang taas ng keyboard. Sa bandang taas ng keyboard, makikita natin ang tinatawag na function keys. Okay, so function keys, they are used to enter commands quickly. Actually, they perform specific tasks. So they are F1 hanggang F12. And you can see them bandang taas ng keyboard. And their functions differ from other program to another. Okay, F1. If you're using Windows 10 or any kind of Windows, yung F1 is used for asking help. Yung F4, actually F4, I'm using it together with Alt. At nasubukan nyo ng pagsabayan ng ang Alt saka F4. Have you done it before? Alt plus F4. If you're going to press it, not now, okay? Not now. Okay, so don't press it now, okay? Kasi if you're going to press it now, you're going to exit or you're going to close Zoom. Madi-disconnect kayo sa akin, Mr. Yman, okay? Later siguro, try it. So, let's say open a program. Let's say you're going to open a Word document. And then press Alt plus F4. Okay, if you're going to press Alt plus F4, it will close the Word. Okay, the Word program or the word processing program. F5. I'm using F5 for my presentation. So I'm currently using a Microsoft PowerPoint. So yan, i-exit ko muna. So kapag kasi nasa normal view ang aking presentation, so it looks like this. But if I'm going to press F5, Okay, if I'm going to press F5, I'm going to press it right now. Ayan, yan ang kalalabasan ng F5. See? Ayan, so naka-presentation mode siya pag F5. I'm just going back to my presentation. Nasaan ang keyboard? Function keys. So yan ano. And then yung F11, yung iba mga nagigame sa inyo if you're playing Roblox, yung F11 ginagamit niyan madalas to maximize your screen. Okay? And then F12 is for options to eh. If you want to see the programming language of a certain website, F12 ginagamit ko yun. Okay. So punta naman tayo sa rightmost part ng keyboard natin. Let's go to Numeric Keypad. Okay. So the keys here are arranged like that of a calculator. Have you seen a calculator? Siguro naman. So makikita nyo, yung arrangement of the numeric keypad looks like a calculator. Okay? So yan, so you want 0 sa ilalim, you want 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Alright, so by the way, so the numlock LED over here on top of the numeric keypad, you can see here, it's switched on. Nakailaw, di ba? So this is called the numlock LED. Okay, the numlock LED. So this reflects the status of your numlock key. So if it's not switched on, if this is not lighted up, so the numeric keys or the numeric keypad won't function. Instead, it will function the cursor in the navigation keys. So what I mean is, di ba kita nyo rito yung 7? Okay, on your screen please. On your 7 has home. Diba? 8 has an arrow pointing up. 9 is page up. 4 is an arrow pointing left. 6 has an arrow pointing right. And then 1 is end. 2 is down. 3 is page down. 0 is insert. Dot is delete. Okay? So if the numlock key is not switched on or not light or the light is not on, ang magfa-function dito ay yung mga home, yung navigation keys niya. Okay? So yung home, up, page up, the arrow keys, and page down, delete, insert, sila ang magfa-function instead of the numbers. Okay? So para mapailaw mo yung numlock LED, you just need to press the numlock button over here. Okay? This is the numlock button or the numlock key. You just need to press it and then the numlock will already switch on. And kapag naka-switch on ito, magagamit nyo na ang inyong numeric keypad. So the numeric keypad will definitely function at all. Okay? Subject to definition, the keys here are arranged like that of a calculator. So meron din siyang mga mathematical symbols. Okay? You can see mathematical symbols over here. So here's the plus. The plus is used for addition. Of course, di ba? Plus nga ba ginagamit sa addition? Or no? Minus sign is used for the subtraction. Asterisk. Yung asterisk ang ginagamit sa multiplication, not the letter X. And the forward slash, ang gamit naman sa division. Yan. Okay, so hanggang dito muna. Any question?
Sir,
Yes po.
ilan po kulang ko?
Okay, for chat. 1, 2, 3. Tatlong kulang mo plus the quiz. Yung nga, yung pinag-usapan na last Monday, right?
Ano po mga date?
So isang March 10th, March 30th. Yung April 11, ano na to eh? Third grading na to. So March 10th, March 30th. Okay?
Opo.
Noted? All right.
Opo.
Okay, about sa ating discussion, any question? Okay, so we're good. So, diretso natin. Okay, next ay ang tinatawag na navigation keys. So, navigation keys are used to help you input data and instructions easily. So, ito yung mga yon. So, as you can see there, these are the navigation keys. So, meron tayong insert, delete, home, and page up, page down, and the other keys that I will be discussing to you next. Okay? May mga next pa tayo. So, navigation keys. So, arrow keys. Ang arrow keys ay navigation keys din. Okay? Arrow keys is yung mga arrow that pointing up, down, left, and right. So, it moves the cursor up, down, left, and right. By the way, do you know what the cursor is? Alam niyo ba kung ano yung cursor? Yes or no? No. Okay, so the cursor, the cursor is the blinking line on the screen. Can you see the blinking line? Nakita niyo may nagbi-blink dito?
Opo.
So that's the
Opo.
cursor. So if you're working on a document, makikita niyo yan. Okay, so you're going to use the arrow keys to move it. Okay, so if you want to go up, if you want the cursor to move up or to move down, left or right, you can use the arrow keys. Yan. So again, arrow keys ay included sa navigation keys. All right? Okay. Next is, okay, naintindihan na, cursor. The cursor, ito yung cursor ha. It is the blinking line. Okay, the blinking line on the screen, it's called the cursor. Okay, punta tayo sa enter key. Okay, enter key is also within the typewriter area or the alphanumeric keypad, but considered as one of the navigation keys. Okay. So enter key lets you move the cursor down to the next line. Okay? Pero actually it moves the cursor at the beginning of the next line. Okay, ganun yun. Again, enter lets you move the cursor down at the beginning of the next line. Yan na? It lets you move the cursor at the beginning of the next line. Yan talaga ang kanyang ginagawa. And enter key is also used to execute a command. Okay, so you're going to notice that there are two enter keys on a standard keyboard. So if you're using a standard keyboard, so ito yung isang enter niya and the other ones ay nasa numeric keypad. Okay? Yung isa nasa alphanumeric keypad, yung isa naman nasa numeric keypad. And yung mga older keyboards nga pala, sometimes yung label ng enter ay return. So you can see here, ang naka-label sa kanya is return instead of enter. Okay, baka makakita kayo ng keyboard. Sir, bakit walang enter ito? Okay? So hanapin niyo yung nakalagay return. So yung return key ay hindi ang enter key. Okay, next is backspace. Okay, look at your keyboard, yung assignment. Yung backspace is found at the top right corner of your alphanumeric keypad. So yun siya. So it erases a character before the insertion point. So what I mean is it erases a character before the cursor, nasa left. Kaya nga dito, kung makikita nyo, backspace has an arrow pointing to the left. It means ang ine-erase niya ay yung mga character or characters at the left of the cursor. So yung pag-i-erase niya, backward or going to the left. Okay? Again backspace, it erases the character or characters at the left of the cursor. Okay?
Okay po. Opo.
Okay. So binibigyan kong emphasize talaga yung left ha. Kasi yung next natin is what we call delete. So this key is also used to erase character or characters. So ito naman, ang pagkakaiba niya, ang dinidelete niya, yung nasa right naman ng cursor. Okay? So it erases the characters or characters to the right of the cursor one at a time. Kaya ako binibigyan emphasis sa left and right. So if you want, so both delete and backspace are erasers. So ang pagkakaiba niya, if you want to erase characters at the left of the cursor, so you're going to use backspace. Kung gusto mo naman ma-delete ang nasa right ng cursor, so you're going to use delete. Yan. So yun ang pagkakaiba niya. Okay, any question?
Wala po.
Wala. So, continue tayo. As we continue, tab key naman tayo. Tab key. So, this is a key on your computer keyboard found at the far left of the keyboard beside the QWERTY. Okay? So, makikita yung keyboard nyo, may nakalagay QWERTY, yung QWERTY, QWERTY. So, dyan yung makikita yung tab. So it is a key that allows you to tab across the screen and sets stops as you would on a typewriter. So the tab key is yung tab kasi is abbreviation of tabulator key or tabular key. Okay, again, tab ay ang abbreviation of tabulator or tabular. And it is used to advance the cursor to the next tab stop. So usually malalaking spaces ang kanyang ini-skip. Okay? So if you want to skip spaces, pwede mong gamitin ang tab key. Okay? Or sorry. If you want to hindi pala skip if you want to create a bigger space, yan, so use tab key. And it will stop you and it will bring your cursor to the next tab stop kung tawagin. Okay, sana matapos natin. Next ay ang page up and page down. Pwede na siguro akong magpakita. Alright. So yung page up and page down, they are used to scroll up and down in documents. But the scrolling distance varies between different applications. So this is like using your mouse. Diba sa mouse kasi may scrolling wheel yung sa gitna. So ito naman yung scroll key. Yung ating scroll key sa sa keyboard. So it's like using the arrow keys. Diba yung arrow keys may up and down? So if you want to place your cursor several times going up, so use page up. If you want to place your cursor several times down, so use page down. So yun. And page up and page down also used for scrolling sa sa websites. Yan. Pwede sa websites. The two keys are primarily used to scroll up or down in documents, but the scrolling distance varies between different applications. So yung page, next ay ang home key. Home key, so yan, din makikita, katabi ng page up, in between page up and insert key. So home key is a control key for returning the cursor to the beginning of the line on which you're currently typing. Okay, again, control key for returning the text cursor to the beginning. Okay? Baka malito kayo sa enter at saka sa home, ha? Kasi yung home key, inilalagay niya sa cursor sa beginning of the line that you're already typing. Okay? Pero yung yung enter key, pag pinindot niyo yun, it will bring the cursor at the beginning of the next line. Okay? Yung home key, again, bibigyan ko emphasize yung word, ha? Home key, it brings the cursor at the beginning of the current line. Okay, current line. While the enter key, it brings the cursor at the beginning of the next line. Okay? Pagka at the beginning of the next line, enter key. Kapag naman at the beginning of the current line, home key. Okay? Naiintindihan ba? Naunawaan ba yung sinabi, Sir Yman? Yun ang pagkakaiba ng home at saka enter, ha? And the next is the end key. So end key is exactly the opposite of home key. So it moves the cursor to the end of the line or the document or a page or cell or screen. So it's like using the right arrow. So if you're going to press arrow key several times, siyempre mapupunta kayo sa rightmost part ng document, di ba? Or the rightmost part of the line. Kung gusto mo mapadali, you're just going to press end key para nandun ka kagad sa pinakahuli ng line. Okay? So sabi ko nga, this is exactly the opposite of home key. If you want to put or if you want to place the cursor at the beginning of the current line, home key gagamitin. But if you want to place the cursor at the very end of the current line, then use the end key. Okay? So yun, so meron tayong mga navigation keys, arrow keys, enter key, backspace, tsaka delete, tab key, page up, page down, home and end keys. Tapos meron pa tayong insert key. So last na to, insert key. Insert key is pang 10, okay? So insert key is primarily used to switch between the two text entering modes on a personal computer or word processor. Actually, nagagamit ko sa word processing lang to eh. I just don't know how to use it with the other programs. Ano? Pero madalas, insert key, nagagamit ko siya sa word processing. Yan. Yun nga, so I rarely use this, ano? But for me, it's sometimes useful, the insert key. Okay, isa-isa natin yung mga natutunan natin na navigation keys. So there are 10. There are 10 navigation keys. Isa na nga dito, insert. Okay, what are the others? Pakisabi sa atin. Pakisabi sa akin kung ano pa yung mga navigation keys na natutunan ninyo. Go ahead, please. Okay, enter key. That's right. Enter key. So, dalawa na. Okay.
Wait lang.
Sige, recall natin. Recall tayo. So, enter key. Tama yun, enter key. Marami yun. There are 10. So, may dalawa tayo. Insert key at saka enter key. So, that's the enter key. You can look at your keyboard. Para maalala ninyo. And what's happening, Maxine? Anong ginagawa, Maxine? Ang dami niyan. How about this one? Yung mga arrows pointing up, down, left, and right. They are called the yun na, nalimutan na kagad. Alright, they are called the arrow keys. Okay, arrow keys or the cursor keys. Okay, arrow keys or cursor keys. So navigation keys din yan, okay? So mayroon tayong tatlo na. Arrow keys, enter key, and yung last one natin ay ang insert key. Next natin ay ang backspace. Backspace, delete, tab key, page up, page down. So magkahiwala yung page up, page down. Home key, end key. So they are the navigation keys. Okay? Siguro abot pa tayo sa ating last part. So last part natin ay yung tinatawag na ayan, so inisa-isa ko pala rito. So these are the navigation keys na natutunan natin. arrow keys, enter key, backspace and delete, tab key, page up and page down, home and end keys, and insert key. Okay, tandaan na, there are 10 navigation keys according to your module. By the way, do you have your module with you? Wala. But have you seen it?
Opo.
Okay. So yung next natin ay yung tinatawag na Control and Alt keys. So CTRL means control. Okay? Control tapos Alt keys. So they are used alone or in combination with other keys to perform a specific action. So kadalasan may kasama sa lagi siyang key, other key. Okay, example natin ay Control plus P. So if you're going to hold Control and then press the letter P, so makakaroon ka ng print option. So you'll be able to print a specific document or spreadsheet. So pwede kayong makapag-print using the Control plus P. Control plus Z. Have you used this? Nagamit niyo na ba to sa inyong paggagawa ng document? Not yet. So if you have done any mistake sa inyong document or anything that you're doing, you can use Control plus Z to undo. Okay? So this is undo. So if you're working on a document tapos nagkamali kayo, instead of using backspace, pwedeng Control Z. And it will undo the latest thing that you did on your document. Okay? Or on something else. Halimbawa, if you're working on an image, if you're editing an image,